Va, a partita.
So, welcome back to Toronto.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the projects you were working on the last time you were here.
Last time I was here was for The Thief, and I had written 2 movies that were shown here at The Thief. One was called I Am Love, with Tilda Swinton, by an Italian director named Luca Guadagnino, and the other one was called The First Line, directed by an Italian director whose name is Renato De Maria. And so I came here for the festival because I guess it's quite a rare chance to have 2 movies written by during the festival. And so I enjoyed the city. I enjoyed the fact that for the TIFF festival, everybody seems to go to the theaters. I mean, normal people who get some vacation to see movies. I like that festival because I felt like the whole city was involved and wanted to meet directors and see movies. And so I'm very glad to be back here, also because this is the first edition of the Week of Italian Cinema here. I love to be with my movie when it is shown because I can get the reaction from the public, from the audience, and since I'm working on my second movie as a director, it's very interesting for me to see how they react when they laugh, when they get touched by the movie, when I can feel that the audience is a little bit less attached to what they see. It's very useful, and also it's extremely entertaining. Yes, because the story is set in Naples in 1973, and it revolves around a young kid is 9 years old, who grows up in a family that's quite a dysfunctional family. And all we can see in the movie about Naples and the 70s and the hippie revolution and the sexual revolution is what I remember from those years as a kid. And even though the storyline is not so autobiographical, because in the movie the mother gets ill and the father cheats on her, and that part is not in my autobiography, what is more close to me is the fact that the young kid is very in touch with his aunts. They are very young, and they took him out to parties, to feminist meeting, to also kind of sexual parties. They use drugs, and when I was a kid, I loved my aunt and my uncle who took me to these kind of parties, even if I was not the right age to go there, but I loved being with them, and so loved being with them, and that's part of the reason why I wrote a novel in 2007, and then on that novel is based my movie. Writing is, for me at least, is always part autobiographical, and part is what you would like to happen, and it never happened to your life. So the movie centers about the relationship between this kid, Peppino, and his cousin Gennaro, who thinks he's Superman, and actually he's dead in the beginning of the movie, but it comes back like a kind of guardian angel or imaginary friend for Peppino. And I never had an imaginary friend when I was a kid, but I also wanted to, and I tried very hard to make by myself this imaginary friend, but I couldn't. And so as soon as I grew up and became a novelist and then a screenwriter, I chose for my kind of alter ego to have an imaginary friend. Exactly because I had written the novel, I felt more sure working with other people. I know as a screenwriter, from my experience as a screenwriter, that the movie is something you do with other people, with the talent of other people, with the creation that comes from other people, and I mean actors and cinematographer and setup decorator, everyone, and editors. And I know, and I love when I'm a screenwriter to be part of this kind of collective piece of work. And I wanted the talent of these 2 screenwriters, Monica Rametti and Ludovica Rampolti, to be with me when I was writing. I think that movie starts this way. They are born this way, with the work of so many people and with the talent of so many people. Well, actually it was an idea. They are my producers, Nicola Giuliano and Francesca Cima. We didn't know each other, just read the novel and decided that the novel could be a very good start from a movie. And so they kind of hired me as a screenwriter, and we started on confronting each other about the storyline and about all the changes to do with the novel to have a good script. but while we were talking, I kind of insisted on so many things, like the decorations and kind of actors and the costumes and the 70s setting. And so at one point I kind of say, why don't you do that, because we will never find a director who knows so much about this movie as you do. And so I decided to do. Actually, when I work as a screenwriter, I like so much to be on the stage, to stay with the director and work while he's shooting. So I've been on various sets during my professional life. And so the passage from writing to directing was in a way very, very heavy and important for me, because I felt responsible. I had the help in this movie from so many people, like famous actors, and Luca Bigazzi, who is the most important Italian cinematographer. So I felt very responsible because they trusted me, even if it was my first time. And so in a way it's not so difficult to change from screenwriting to directing. And in other ways it's a completely change of perspective, because in the moment you are like one of the voice that call to the director and say, why don't you do this? And in the other situation, you are the people everyone looks at. So I kind of try to look a lot of movies as I try to read a lot of novels. So I am not so good at saying who is the most. I can say which one is my favorite film in life. That's Vertigo by Alfred Hitchcock, and I can definitely say that I've managed to work with directors such as Ozpetek or Guadagnino or even Papi Corsicato, who work a lot with music, and I am interested in working with music. In fact, in Kryptonite there is a lot of music and dance scenes and everything, but you can never tell if you have taken something from them or if you just happen to collaborate with them because you share a thought or share an idea of, for instance, of music like a narrative element. So I am not so able. I must say that I love as part of an audience I love directors who make you feel part of the story, who are interested in making you laugh or touch you. And I don't like so much directors or even writers who use their talent just to show off how good they are. So, for instance, I like Truffaut more than Godard, and directors who put their heart on the sleeve more than directors who show off how good they are in moving the camera. I always, when I write, I always have someone in mind, and if I'm writing for someone else, for another director, it can happen that you know from the beginning which actor will star in your movie, and this is a very great help when you're writing. When you don't have that kind of inspiration from the beginning, all the same, I write with someone in mind, and when the actor is casted, I also do a rewrite of the script on the actors after like the first reading of the script. And so casting of my movie for me was very important, because I had some actors in mind, Valeria Golino, and was in my mind when I wrote the novel as an image of Neapolitan Mother. And during the casting and meeting other actors, I found some wonderful actors that forced me to change something in the character because I wanted them, because they were so good. And Monica Napo stars in my movie and is a very, very talented actress, made me in a way rethink about the character in a way that I hope it's been like very fitted on her. And she was fantastic. I didn't know personally her before working together in this movie, and I am very, very satisfied with their performance, and I would say very glad that I met you as a person. I mean, I have lots of difficulties with the word artist. Even as a writer, I will describe myself as someone who likes to tell stories. I like the work of telling stories. I like so much when when I can write something and I can make people laugh or make people cry with my words, I am happy. When I can tell them a story and having people interested not in me but in the fate of my characters, I am happy. So I will describe myself as a person who is very interested in telling stories. And of course, when someone tells a story, you don't imagine yourself in a small room telling your stories to a mirror. You imagine to tell you have a fantasy of telling your story to lots of people. That doesn't mean that you work for I don't know, for having so many people as you can, but virtually. You have to think that your story can be interesting for everyone. And so I would say about myself, I am a person who likes telling story to an audience who is interested, and I hope I can make this audience interested in what I'm saying without changing my story. Now I'm working on my second movie. It will be with the same producers. I don't know, since I'm working now with the project and since I'm following my movie all around the world, I've changed the idea so many times about what I want to do next. And when you change ideas, when I change idea, I'm always happy, because if I change ideas, it means that that idea was not so good if I can change it. And so what I think, what I know about my next movies that will be contemporary, since Kryptonite is set in 1973, and I have enjoyed so much to recreate that world, the world of the 70s. But now I feel like that I don't want to have a screen about feelings and about. I want to tell life how it is now for me, and I think it will be a movie about relationships, or about love and betrayal, and I will have the same producer that I had for my first movie, that Nicola Giuliano and Francesca Cima, who did all the Paolo Sorrentino movies, and including the last one with Sean Penn, and they're wonderful, wonderful producers. And I hope to work with practically all the people I worked with the first movie, because I must say that the time we spent on the set with actors and with the troupe, with everyone, was a very magic time. I enjoyed so much that time all together, and I know from what other people say to me that they've enjoyed the same. So I will try to work with the same equipe, with the same troupe, and with the same person that I love and I worked with for my first movie. I like the idea of people coming to see what's happening. In a week they can come and see what's happening in Italian cinema now. I mean, in the moment, not classical movies that they of course can see, and they are so important, but what's happening now. And we have had, during the last 2 years in Italy, so many first-time directors and so many new actors and so many talents to discover, that I am very happy with the idea that people can come for a week and see a very good part of what's happening. So I am extremely excited, and still can't believe that I will be the one, and that I am the one chosen to open up everything. And I hope I will do a good job. I mean, I hope that the audience will like my movie. I feel also as a responsibility, because I mean, if the first movie which opens up is good, I mean, people will be like, we will come to see the other movies. If it's so and so, people will say, okay, if this is the opener, I can imagine the others. But I hope that tonight everybody will enjoy the movie.